tackling water lines. I'm going to be using these QuickPass tests. You can see QuickPass, it's from ProEdge. It's going to come in this box of 24. I'm going to be testing each one of the units. So in my operatories, I have 2 units that have water delivery. So I'm going to be testing and using these little QuickPass tests from ProEdge. So just in a few days, I'm going to know if my water lines are passing and are safe to deliver water through, so I'm not infecting people with God knows what and having all the biofilm in these water lines. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take off hand pieces from any line that has water coming through it, and then I'm going to put these into a cup, and then I'm going to put that cup into this water, because I want the water from each line, because if I test just this could have biofilm in it, and I don't know that. So I'm going to put all of it through, because no matter what, I'm going to be shocking the whole line if I don't pass. But then I put it into here, and then in just a few days, I'm going to know if it tests good or bad, if I passed or failed. It's a little nerve-wracking, but I'm going to be doing this to each one of my units today, because we got to figure this out. We got to make sure we have a safe water line. So thank you to ProEdge for making these little tests. Step 1, know how to work the equipment. I don't work in this room, so I had to figure out how to work this particular unit. Anyway, I'm back in business. All right, so I'm taking water from, try not to blow it in my face. One question I just asked, should I be wearing PPE for this? That's why I'm making this documentary for you guys, so you learn from my mistakes. I'm taking a little bit from each one. I don't even think that one's running all the way. And I'm also turning them all the way up, personally. There it goes. So some of these haven't had water coming through them, but, oh, I got that one. Again, I'm screwing this up left and right. Okay, so I've done all of my rooms, 2 units each room. I have them laying down. Next thing I'm gonna go do is get a permanent marker and label each one of them. Everything took me about 3 minutes per room. And again, I have 4 rooms. I have 2 units in each room. I did test my 2 units that have separate waters, like my airflow, EMS airflow has its own water unit, and I do clean that every night, so I'm going to test it anyway just to see. And then I also tested the units that have a direct hookup to the community water, like the outside water source. I don't even know what you would call that, but so I'm going to check those just because I have the test available. I'm going to make a phone call because I do have some questions, and I'll document that for you guys. I think the hardest thing about this was that each unit is a little bit different. So I had to figure out how to work it because I'm just in my room. Like, I'm used to this room here. So I didn't know how to work that unit. Their settings were the water was a little higher, a little lower. Some of the hand pieces never get water through them. I tested those anyway because I feel like that's the right thing to do, but I'll confirm that. Now we wait. We have a few days.
This conference will now be recorded.
It's official.
Okay, so thank you, Kelly's, for coming on and making sure or answering my questions, because I did have quite a few. I do have 9 tests here.
Okay.
One thing that I did, which I was curious, just out of curiosity, is I tested my water line that was hooked up to community water. Do you recommend that?
We recommend testing all water lines. More than likely it's going to be fail. But yes, we do.
Yeah, I did.
There's not much you can do.
Right.
The problem is you just can't shock that line, right? Because it's connected to the municipal supply. So we want you to test every line. But there's not much you can do to fix it except for retrofit with a water bottle. Did it fail?
Okay, yes. So the line that I have is my Cavitron. So I need to fit somehow a water bottle to that. So there's no way for the community water supply to, like, is there something wrong in the walls?
So you can take a sample like right from your faucet, and then also just take it from that Cavitron that's hooked to the municipal supply. And the municipal supply is probably fine. The problem lies in those little tiny tubes is where the bacteria forms. So even with sterile water, if you had sterile water, in 1 week you could get up to 200,000 colony-forming units of bacteria.
Okay.
The challenge is, Michelle, if you don't retrofit that to a water bottle, you can hook up, an inline cartridge system to treat the water, but that's a low-level antimicrobial. And so if you've got an established biofilm in that long Cavitron line, any low-level antimicrobial, whatever treatment product you use, even the best ones are going to struggle against, like Kelly said, 200,000 CFUs. You're never going to get that down.
Okay, so I just need to really talk to my distributor rep that will do the maintenance on my, because I have water bottles on 2 of the units. It's just the quick connect is not connected to those lines. Yes. So should I be wearing PPE with this, like the proper mask and eye wear, so that I don't breathe in God knows what's coming out of that line?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Okay.
Just because we don't know, right? If there's a lot of bacteria in there, we don't know what's in there. So I would suggest, you can sometimes turn the air down so it's not spraying so much. So double check do that. But sometimes you can't. So I have seen people do call a lot saying, this is spraying all over the place. I can't get it in the vial.
Michelle, any infection control, infection prevention procedure, PPE is always a great idea. So
Let's say I did this on a Thursday, and so now I will be gone from the office because we're closed Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Do you suggest that I not do that if we're going to be closed, or at least take these these quick passes home with me?
And it is. So it is important to make sure that you read it in that 48 to 72 hour window.
Okay.
So you can do it on a Friday, or if you do it on a Thursday, I would take them home and then just let them sit in a just a room temperature. It's best to leave them in the office where the lines are at, just so you can get that good idea. But if you have to take them home, it's best to take them home and read them in that window of time than to let them sit too long.
What if a line doesn't typically use water?
So you want to, when you have your rep come out and retrofit that water bottle, I would have them cap that line off if you're not using that water. But if you do use it sometimes, and you want that water to be available, you do need to make sure you shock that line and also test it as well. It's super important. So that can be like a dead leg. And so bacteria or water can get up there and stay. So it's very important to either cap it off, have your maintenance tech cap it off, or if not, have the water turned off. But when you test, you're going to want to shock that line, of course, and then test it as well.
That's
Michelle,
great.
Do you know what a dead leg is? Can we explain that quick?
Yes, for the people who are going to hear this later. I did learn it in your course, though.
Okay. So a dead leg is basically it can be a capped line, but it's basically a line that doesn't go anywhere and water's not going to flow through it. And so you could have, and you want to, as Kelly was saying, you want to have your equipment person cap that as close to the source as possible rather than closer to the device. Because now if you don't, that water can get in that extra line that's not capped, and it just sits there stagnant. And biofilm will grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. And then it'll feed into all your other lines. And so even if you are shocking and treating super dedicated in all your other dental unit water lines, you're going to start to see failures and inconsistencies because that one dead leg is feeding the rest of the unit a whole bunch of bacteria.
And let's see, how frequently do I do this?
With the QuickPass, we suggest doing it monthly until you get a couple of passing results. So do it a couple of months and then quarterly, at least quarterly. And we do recommend that you do it in conjunction with a mail-in test. So at least yearly do a mail-in test just to have that third-party verification.
Patients normally, let's say I come back Monday and I failed. What would be my next step then?
So to shock your lines. So we like the diluted bleach shock. It's quick and it's effective. So we suggest doing that. And then if you do have a failed test, we want you to shock and then retest to prove that you took corrective action, and then retest to prove that it worked.
Okay. So I'm going to shock and then test again, right?
Right. How were you?
All right. And then so I'm going to shock. I'm going to test again. And then right now I'm going to purge my lines. But after, if I was not shutting down and I was seeing patients normally, then I can keep just using it and then start using the blue tabs.
After you shock. Yes. Yeah. Shock.
Every time you refill that bottle. Yep.
Every time you refill that bottle. So right now with it, you sent out an email that was really helpful, but it said to just dry it out. But if I'm sitting over a weekend, is it better to take that bottle off or leave it with the blue tabs and the water and all of that kind of connected?
Yeah, you'll want to leave it in. We suggest leaving it in. So blue tab stays active and working and killing bacteria for 28 days. During this extended period of being gone, we want you to purge, just dry everything out as much as possible. But just a normal weekend is fine. You can leave the bottle on, the water in the lines. When you come in on Monday, it's important to flush for 2 minutes, but that you want to do that every day anyway. But yeah, you can leave it on. We want you to leave it on. It's important to leave it on rather than purging it. Just because, like I said, even when you purge, you can't get them 100% dry. So with that blue tab, that'll help keep the lines. It'll kill keep the bacteria low and kill it while you're gone.
Or like Kelly said, what OSAP recommends, monthly. And then when you have consecutive passing results, you go to quarterly.
Awesome. Well, thank you. And please let me know. I might be calling you back again after I shock and view some things and get more information from you.
Absolutely. Well, Michelle, to you and to all your customers, if you guys ever need help, Kelly T is always available and the rest of our team to answer questions. So you can always call ProEdge Dental Water Labs.
Well, thanks for hanging out with me. Don't forget to check out ProEdgeDental.com. Obviously, their customer service is amazing, and they have so many resources, things to download, videos to watch, and continue to follow me along my journey, because next I'll be shocking my water lines and also getting set up with tabs and getting a routine maintenance and also starting my maintenance log as well. So stay tuned, and thanks again to ProEdge Dental.